ABC 3340 News starts now with breaking news.
Updating that breaking news that's been happening all morning while you were sleeping. All flights in and out of the airport in Brussels are canceled. This after two explosions there and one at a metro substation. It ripped through part of the city of Brussels, including the airport and the subway station during the morning rush hour.
Now at this hour, here's what we know. We know more than 24 people have been injured in this, and at least 28 people have been killed. The explosions happened only days after the prime suspect in the Paris attacks was arrested in Brussels. Right now, the Belgian federal prosecutor says the blasts are terrorist attacks. But the prime minister says at this point it is unclear if they are related to that arrest. The threat level this morning is raised to the maximum level. That's a level 4 terror alert, meaning that an attack is imminent. This is a very serious situation. At this point, we know that all of the public transportation, the subway system, the airport has all been shut down this morning. You can see here people just been walking. That's the only way they have to get around this morning, is just to be able to walk to get where they need to go. But this is inside the airport. It looks like people have been trying to get out of the airport. People have been trying to get out of the subway this morning as those attacks happened. And we know at this point, 28 people, like we said, total have been killed. 13 were killed inside the airport this morning. And at this point, we know that the count is up to 15 killed inside the subway. The
subway station is near the European Union headquarters. Rescue crews had to set up a treatment center there and a local pub just to help those who were injured. We understand, too, that this has now been officially declared as a suicide bomb attack, at least at the airport. Belgium officials, too, are still trying to figure out who is responsible for this. Even France has beefed up its security at airports, too, neighboring France. Belgium is located northeast of France, west of Germany, and south of the Netherlands. This obviously is in Europe. We can also tell you that we've been understanding that the flights going into that airport have been diverted and all flights have been canceled going out.
Absolutely. And we've been following here on Twitter this morning the Prime Minister of Belgium. He's been tweeting quite a few things. He said that, quote, they attacked us in a cowardly way. He also called this a dark moment for their nation. Yeah, his name is Charles Michel. He's been the Prime Minister there for a few years. He also says that, quote, what we feared has happened. We were hit hard by blind attacks. Again, with his quote, he says, we know there are many dead and many injured. It's just in the heart of that subway area, too, was in the heart of the city, right in morning rush subway and at the airport are stuck because there is no transportation system anymore to get to and from. So we see many people walking, just trying to find a place to shelter in place until they figure out exactly what's going on. And we've been watching some of the interviews this morning with some of these passengers, and they were just talking about they're just completely frightened this morning, not sure what was going on, heard the blast happened, just a very chaotic situation there this morning, as you can imagine, to be inside of an airport and not really know what's going on, or you know, just seeing people rush out. So again, just a very timid situation this morning with the numbers still coming in. So what does this mean for us here at home? Well, these attacks come as ISIS urges supporters to attack in any way, not just on a large scale, but like one similar to the Paris attacks back in November. So this has really changed a lot of international flights this morning. We wanted to find out what that meant here in Birmingham. So we've sent Stephen Quinn out to the airport this morning. Stephen, what have you learned about this?
Business as usual this morning, Sarah, as Birmingham begins its morning rush hour. You had mentioned this is probably one of the busiest times to be at an airport, and here, as I had mentioned, no flights had been affected as you would expect here at a national airport, but nearby, just in Atlanta, there were 3 flights, I might point out, that were headed to Brussels this morning. Those very much in doubt, as you might imagine, after Brussels Airport announced that it had suspended operations indefinitely in light of those explosions, which we now know are terrorist attacks. I should also point out that this has been a time where the United States has made alerts about traveling overseas, particularly the State Department just 3 weeks ago issuing a caution specifically listing Europe and potential attacks by ISIS. Now, obviously, there have not been any claims of responsibility for this attack, but we talked to some of the residents here, many of them headed on domestic flights who had been overseas, and they say that there is a big difference when flying over there when it comes to the show of force, when it comes to security at their airports.
We traveled quite a bit overseas. But it's probably just the same thing, being aware, but probably not, there's probably a sense of not giving in and not letting them have the advantage. The people that want to do harm, want to cause trouble.
And Trent Richardson told me also that he believes that there is a much stronger show of force. The way he put it is while they may use scanners here to help try and combat terrorism there, it is more of a show of force with weapons on those security guards. So very much a difference, but still, as I might imagine, right here, right now, things are running as normal at Birmingham Airport. There are some international flights, though, that we said might be impacted that were scheduled to leave for Brussels. If you are on one of those flights, if that is your destination, you are asked to call your travel provider to help see what accommodations or changes have been made to those flights. Live outside Birmingham Airport, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340.
Stephen, thank you. And if you're just waking up with us this morning, we want to recap all of this for you, of those explosions in Brussels that have now been called a terrorist attack. Right now, we know at least 28 people are dead. All of the flights in and out of the Brussels airport at this point have been canceled. The metro station there is also closed this morning after explosions there. And the terror threat level is at its maximum. And airports around Brussels are also raising their security levels this morning. So again, we know 28 people are dead. 13 were killed inside of the airport this morning. We also know that 15 were killed inside the subway station. Those numbers are just continuing to climb this morning. We're going to keep you posted on this on our website, abc3340.com. Also our all-in-one app and live here on the morning news. Let's check in with Charles for the forecast.
Well, it's 6:06. It's a little bit chilly. This is a live look from our Children's of Alabama camera. We've got mainly clear skies. We see hardly a cloud in the sky today and no rain on the radar, of course. So we're going to stay nice and dry, but we've dipped down. As winds have calmed down, we're down to 29 now in Haleyville, 30 in Coleman and Gadsden. Right now in Birmingham at 36. Anniston's dropped off to 33 at this point. We're checking in with our sky watchers this morning. This gives us that look at temperatures out in your neighborhoods. Now, this is John Talbot over in Concord. You guys are sitting at 30 degrees with a clear sky. It's going to get back up to the 62-degree mark by about lunchtime. We top out in the upper 60s. It'll be breezy and warm as the kids get home from school.
Good morning, everyone. Javante Ingram here with a check of your on-time traffic. No accidents working in the Birmingham metro area right now. We're seeing nothing but green and not really seeing any delays at 6:07 in the morning. If you were hitting the road in Tuscaloosa headed toward Birmingham east on 2059, you can expect a 50-minute drive. If you're heading south from Trussville on 59 toward Birmingham, about 15 minutes for you. And finally, if you're heading south on 65 from Coleman to Birmingham, 40 minutes. We'll take a look at your Highway 280 drive from Chelsea when we see you again.
Developing news from overnight, a shooting in Birmingham has taken the life of an 18-year-old. Right now, police are questioning witnesses. That call came in around 10 o'clock last night on 8th Court West and 16th Street. Now, when officers arrived to the scene, they went inside of the house and found the young girl dead from a gunshot wound. Lieutenant Sean Edwards says they are taking every step to identify a suspect in this case.
Well, anytime you think of the age of an individual, I mean, it really touches your heart and say, well, you know, this is a very young person. So, but right now, you know, our condolences go out to the family right now. And so we just want to make sure as investigators we do what we're supposed to do, make sure we dot every I tonight and cross every T, and make sure we come to some kind of conclusion.
Now, at this hour, it is unclear who called police to report the shooting. Police do say, though, that they are confident the witnesses will lead to a suspect and an arrest. As new details become available, we'll keep you posted on our all-in-one app.
It is 6:08. We are following that deadly explosion at the airport in Brussels and at the subway station, all going on in Belgium this morning. Stay with us on air and online for updates as we continue to get details coming in. As we know, 28 people have been killed in all. Plus, creating a national park in downtown Birmingham, the legislation in the works and the places it would include.